Something just moved my glasses on my head. What is it?
Dave just got scratched. Are you okay, man?
Oh my god. You heard that, didn't you?
You're good at pushing people around, oppressing people. Push me. Push me down these steps.
The owner of the house, she actually said that people have died. They legitimately think there's a curse.
Yeah. This is the place where the weirdest stuff has ever happened to me.
Bad stuff happens in this cabin. This cabin will try and kill you.
You okay?
Something's right in my back.
There's scratch marks on your back.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
There's scratch marks on my back, dude.
No, they're there. They're there.
Is it well?
With
I need the light.
Okay.
Bring it.
Yeah, they're starting to welt.
You are.
Don't move, don't move, don't move. 1, 2, 3.
With that, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to walk out of here.
Wow. Damn. Oh my god. I did not expect this.
Is that the couch in there that they all died on? Did you see the roof in here?
That was the evil room there.
Yeah.
Then this room.
This is the room that they had all the funerals in, isn't it?
Yeah. Floor's safe.
Remember that chair?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish it was still the way it was.
Sad.
I have a feeling like last time, after it gets dark, it's gonna have a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lady that died in here, I believe. If I can remember that right. She had pneumonia, I believe.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I don't remember her name though.
Maybe we'll pick it up tonight.
I wish this would have been in better shape for you guys. I mean, I've got this feeling in my gut, so I believe something's still here.
Still yet?
So we are getting ready to go into the basement here at the cabin, and we can't get there, so we're gonna have to actually weed eat our way there. So Jason has the weed eater, and he is gonna be putting in the heavy work, and he's gonna be getting us over there to the basement. So you ready to get started, Jason?
Hey, we're going to clear a path through the jungle.
for.
I think what we should do is leave from this little valley area at the cabin, walk all the way up the ridge here, see if we can get some audio or video or an interview or something like that from the family about all the stories and death that have happened here.
Because it's been pretty crazy for them, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people who have been in this cabin here, specifically died in this cabin or died because they were in this cabin, they think. They think it's cursed, they think it's haunted, from what I understand. And pretty much everybody in their family that died, I think if they didn't die here, they had their funeral here anyway.
Wow.
So there's a lot of death, a lot of stuff coming through here, so I think we should go up and see if we can get them to talk a little bit about some of this stuff.
Okay.
Rolling on audio, so we're gonna go down and talk to her, and hopefully she can tell us some stories, but they don't want to be on camera, so we're gonna hide the camera up here at the top of the hill and come on down, and hopefully they'll be willing to talk to us. Whew. Do you mind if I run some audio just to get your stories down?
Yeah, no camera, just record.
It's just an audio recording.
Just a voice.
Have you ever had anybody that actually liked living in that cabin down there that didn't have bad things happen to them?
Everybody else,
Everybody gets it, laid in it, ends up dying. When that cabin was built, when that cabin was first built, they cut all the timber and stuff off the land, right out there in their yard, and built that cabin with it. And the old lady lived there, which was my husband's grandmother. She didn't stay there no time because her husband had passed away, the one that built the house. And she had actually left probably a couple months before they built it, after he died, and moved up on a little tiny house that was up on a hill up here because she was so scared of that place, that new. That's the reason I said this horror is just evil. I'm telling you, this is an evil horror.
So you think it's the land?
Yeah, I think it's the land. You stay out here through the daytime all day long.
How many people have actually died in there?
It's the ones that hasn't died in there, get sick that's been trying to stay there and end up dying. Caroline, Jack, Tiny, Bill, Daddy.
And they all have some sort of ties to this area.
They all stayed down there at that cabin a little while.
Oh, they stayed in the cabin.
They tried to stay in the cabin a little while. Sheldon, he ended up having a heart attack and he just broke up with his wife. And he went down there and tried to stay in that cabin a little bit. So he went back to where she was at, he died, he had a heart attack. But I don't know, I just know that cabin is a death trap.
The weather's not too good out here, but this is the perfect weather, I think, for this cabin. We were in there talking to them, and what was really creepy was that the owner of the house, she actually said that people have died.
Yeah.
People that actually lived in this cabin, they left the property and they died because of that. They legitimately think there's a curse. So this is gonna be really creepy. I know, Paulie, you've been here before. You haven't died, obviously, at least not that I know of.
Not yet.
So, yeah, we're good. So, you know, it just kind of makes you apprehensive. I know, you know, a lot of times you have to take that with a grain of salt. And you have to, but you said, you know, all those experiences that you had, where you said you and David and Renee and your sister, and you said that it basically this cabin tried to kill you.
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times. Mm-hmm. So
2 nights in a row.
I think we really have to be careful tonight, and maybe
see where it was.
But yeah, Dave, I think we really should go in there and have you all tell us what actually happened to you here, because that really, I think, would help us tonight.
Absolutely.
So let's head in here and see what happened.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So this was the room that they had the funerals in, right?
Yes.
They would have had well, the one guy died on the couch right over here, and the boy died of brain cancer, right?
I'm not sure if I know he laid on the couch for a while, but I think that she said that he died at the hospital.
So then, the room that almost killed us pretty much was in here.
The second night.
Since we were here the last time, actually the place caught on fire by itself and has burned the whole kitchen room that this happened in before.
So this wasn't at all like it is now. It was actually...
It was furnished and lived in. Decorated and everything.
So it's really, I mean, you look at the condition, it's just...
100% different than it was.
Yeah.
And the wood burner stove is over there where David is. You can see the pipe behind him where the pipe went out. And then there was a regular cook stove in the corner, sink, counter, refrigerator.
Table and chairs here, and this is where my Aunt Lucy was sitting with the dowsing rods. And she was speaking to another entity named Lucy.
Well, we thought we needed to do an EVP, and we were getting close to a name, and we thought the name would be Lucy. So we asked, is your name Lucy? And then we could actually hear the shock go through the rods and into her thumb, and she threw the rods down, and you could hear the shock, the electrical shock, on the EVP tape. And, well, her name is Lucy, too, my sister.
Didn't she have,
She had little
welts?
scars. She has little burn scars on her thumb.
So do you think there's something evil in this cabin?
I do. I think that whatever was here is what burnt this kitchen, because when we stayed here the second night, it was rainy, it was March, so we went out, tried to gather up some twigs and sticks to dry out on top of the wood burner, which had a little metal rack, which was raised up off of the stove. We had just a small fire in the wood stove. It wasn't even hot enough where you could put your hand on top of the stove. So we were drying out just little twigs so we could get a good fire going. So after, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, I hear some kind of a noise like that. And I'm standing over here in front of where the window was. And I look over here where the stove is. And on top of the stove where the little twigs were, this puff of white just shoots out of the sticks, shoots out a little bit, and then just shoots out like a fire extinguisher. White smoke filled up this whole entire room in like 4 seconds. We all panicked. We ran and opened the door. We thought we were going to die of smoke and inhalation. And then within 5 seconds, the whole room cleared. Okay?
Just trying to, you think, scare you out of the cabin?
Right. So then later that night, because we planned on sleeping in this room because the previous night we were probably going to try to be killed in the living room. But we were going to lay down and go to sleep in here. We had a small fire in the wood stove. Everybody had to go to the bathroom, so we all got up to go together because we weren't going to be in here alone anywhere. We closed the inside heavy metal door of the wood stove after we threw the 2 sticks in, shut the outside door, and we went to the bathroom. There were 5 of us, so it took, what, a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? We come back in here to the kitchen. The outside door of the stove is open, the inside door of the stove is open, and there's smoke coming out into that kitchen, filling up with real smoke.
And that was one of those stoves where the door locked.
Right.
Like you latched it
You
down.
shut it and the handle goes down and locks.
So
sorry, okay.
we were just in there doing Polly's interview, and you came in and were telling her a story. What was it?
Throughout the interview, I started thinking of ideas where to set up proximity meters and stuff like that to try to plan ahead. And at one point, I thought, putting the K2 meter would be a good idea, putting on the back of that couch, which left of that couch right there in the middle of the kitchen. but there was a soft orange glow around it. And I had seen that the REM pod had already been placed on the couch. And before I knew it, there was this older man about my height, real thin, kind of a round face, little to no hair. I couldn't make it out. And he kind of put his hands on the back of the couch and then looked at me and had a very, very devious, maybe malevolent smile. I can't make out what exactly the smile meant. I just felt very, very uncomfortable to where I actually left. His eyes were just solid black. And he was talking to me, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. But the voice was very, very deep. Had kind of
Gunshots. Here, let's go see what is going on out here. What's going on?
I don't know, people are shooting guns.
I wonder, they're not supposed to be shooting guns off at the park. That's part of it.
About 8 years ago, David, Renee, and I, and another friend, Josie, came down to stay again for 2 nights. First night we came, the old man, owner then, he was in here, he wouldn't let us in. So we had to stay out in the tent. And after about an hour or so, he just started screaming and yelling and screaming and yelling. And then something
was screaming and yelling back.
And it was just a horrible sound. We thought, okay, the TV, very loud. Thought, okay, we're not going to get any sleep. We're going to have to hear this all night. And then finally it stopped after about 2 hours of the screaming. We went to sleep. Next morning he comes out. He says, sorry, you know, wouldn't let you in. And David took him home. We go in here to set up for the next night. Look around. There's no TV, no radio, no electronics of any sort or anything at all that could have been that loud and talkative. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. This certainly
This is the weirdest place I've ever been. Weirdest things that ever happened to me in, you know, almost 20 years of investigating. This is the place where the weirdest stuff has ever happened to me. And probably David too.
I think one thing that is going to be very important for us, how Polly was in there and she was talking about how bad stuff, the grandfather, bad stuff starts happening when you dig in the basement.
Yeah.
Bad stuff happens in this cabin when you dig in the basement. This cabin will try and kill you when you dig in the basement. So I think we need to dig in the basement tonight.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So they got the REM pod right there on the bed, and then the camera's over there, of course. And let's see, look at this can so we don't step on it. And basically, it gets everywhere from the door over to just the very edge of this door, more or less.
So we are just getting started. We got down to the basement here at the cursed cabin in Logan, West Virginia. And one thing that they told us is that... There's spiders. You alright?
What is it?
I can't do it here.
What's the matter,
There's
dude?
something huge on the wall over there.
This is what we go through.
I don't do bugs.
Wow, that thing's huge, man.
It's all good. I don't like doing alert like big snakes. And I've been fortunate this trip.
The grandfather of the owner had told her when she was a kid, do not, I repeat, do not dig in the basement. And so we are going to, of course,
Dig in the basement.
dig in the basement. They say it releases some sort of energy into the house. So to start the night, we are gonna dig in this basement. So
And unfortunately, we don't have a shovel, but we have this.
we have a machete. We come prepared for PQ. Alright. No!
Dude, look at this.
It goes all the way down in. Dave's gone.
Dave! Oh,
He's gone.
dude.
He saw a bug.
If there's anyone up here that can hear the sound of my voice, my name is Jason. This is my friend Polly and Renee. Our friends Steve, Dave, and Ryan are downstairs. They're trying to make contact with you. In fact, I believe they're digging up some of the dirt in the basement.
But I'm stating one thing. You do not have permission to follow us, attach to us, or anything that we own. You stay here. But we do look forward to making communication with you here at the cabin only.
What do you think about us digging in the basement down here? We heard there's ties to the KKK here. We heard there's some curse with the land.
That sounded like a footstep. What was that?
I think that was them down there.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know what they could have been doing.
I don't either. There's nothing down there.
Before that, I heard a
That was
footstep.
metal.
That was metal, and it was like in here.
That sounded like a footstep. That sounded like a footstep. I'm getting a hissing noise on here.
Hissing.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps on here about interference. I'm getting chills. I'm getting interference. Sea owl.
So there's the hole that I dug with my hands. You can see it's a decently deep hole, just a couple feet with my fingertips. Hoping that's gonna be enough to stir something up here. We're gonna leave this running for a few down here, along with the recorder, and see if anything will happen. Bad stuff happens in this cabin when you dig in the basement. This cabin will try and kill you when you dig in the basement. Do you want to play hide and seek? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy?
As soon as he said 10.
Yes. As soon as he said 10, that thing stopped.
Exactly.
I have not, you saw I did not do this.
No.
It just dead like that.
Immediately, as soon as he
Let me
said
turn.
10.
What? Got chills. I swear I just heard something. Ooh.
What?
I swear I just heard a whisper that say, I'm right behind you. No. I swear.
Because there's scratch marks on your back.
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Are you?
Scratch marks on
there
your
is.
back, dude.
You know, that, like I say, that shakes, yeah, it shakes me up a little bit. I'll be completely honest, that shakes me up a little bit.
Sometimes I wonder how crazy this actually can get. Because I'm here in a house, in a cabin that people have reportedly died from the paranormal activity or the entities that are here. And I'm seriously sitting down here in the basement by myself saying "F you" directly to its face.
There we go. There we go.
Are you here now? Back up now!
What is it?
What was
What
that?
was that?
What was
I
that?
just heard something.
It was behind us.
That sounded like a loud movement.
Renee, 3 days after we left that cabin, you almost died. Tell us how. The hole that was dug is literally through this doorway right here, so we're gonna go upstairs and check on them and leave this down here to see what happens. This is us opening up as an invitation for you to come and communicate and talk to us tonight. You can say whatever the hell it is you want to say. And that's our little token. They said don't dig in the basement because it'll make something mad. Well, you know what? We did. Making you mad is what it's going to take for you to talk. Go ahead, because they say that you kill people, that you've killed people, or that this house is cursed and that people die because of this house or this land. We want you to come forward and tell us why that is. So that's our little gesture of trying to piss you off to see if something will come forward and talk to us that isn't so nice.
It sounds like a, hang on. I swear it sounds like a kid on here talking.
Really?
Let me see here. See if you can hear this.
Yeah, redo that. Rewind it. You hear it in my good ear. I said something. This is like you better get out. You better get out.
Sounds like a kid or something.
It sounds like a kid. That's what I thought. That's what I was gonna
A
say. It
little
sounded like a
boy.
little kid.
Okay, that's a little weird.
All right. Let's see. I'm all by myself down here in the basement. They say that weird happens to people down here and in this cabin. I'm opening myself up to you for you to do the weirdest thing possible. This is gonna be my home now. I don't know if you know that. I'm moving in. Does that make you mad?
There's also a little toy there between the doors. It's got like an antenna on it, a little stick. Walk past it for us. You okay?
What happened?
Something either touched or bumped the bed right by my leg,
Oh, wow.
like this.
Hold up on it.
I felt it move.
The hell was that? Somebody's yelling outside.
Oh no, they're playing a Native American chant upstairs. Okay, good. Whew.
Really cold right here.
It's like a huge on my bare legs.
Right there.
Oh, absolutely.
I can feel it down here on my bare legs. It's like an icy coldness.
Man, that about made me piss myself. That was a clear voice, I think.
Can you go up there and blow that candle out for us, or can you pull it off of the mantle?
This is your chance to do something, Jimmy. Everybody else is outside, upstairs. I'm down here all by myself. And I'm standing right here in front of you saying, if you're a member of the Ku Klux Klan, then f*** you.
If you're not happy about what's going on in the basement, you need to let us know. And we can stop it.
Sometimes I wonder how crazy this actually can get. Because I'm here in a house, in a cabin that people have reportedly died from the paranormal activity or the entities that are here. And I'm seriously sitting down here in the basement by myself saying "F you" directly to its face. That's what we do.
Excuse me, just for the record, Steve and David just went back down to the basement.
I think we got Dave or Steve coming here. Hello? Who goes there? How's it going? Haven't had anything happen. No. I've been pushing it.
Anyone that is here that can hear our voices, if you can hear us or see us, whoever you are, can you give us your name, please?
Do you want to play hide and seek? Count to 10 and then you can make a sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy?
As soon as he said 10.
Yes. As soon as he said 10, that thing stopped.
Exactly.
You saw I did not
Yeah.
move any
No.
switch in there.
It just dead like that.
Immediately, as soon as he
Let me
said
turn.
10.
9, 10. Where are you, Lucy? 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy?
As soon as he said 10.
Yes. As soon as he said 10, that thing stopped.
What?
You had chills.
I swear I just heard something. Ooh, what? I swear I just heard a whisper that's like, I'm right behind you. No, I swear. I swear.
Something happened down there at the
Yeah,
same time.
at the same time.
I can't tell what he said, but he said, I swear something
I
happened.
swear something.
He said I had chills all over my body, but I couldn't tell exactly what he said happened. I can't hear him that clearly.
That's crazy.
I know.
Let's go find out what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
I told you. We told you this place will let you down.
Oh, no. No, I've heard worse.
Any activity up there?
It's funny they come down
Yeah, it is.
That's weird.
because we want her to listen to
We were just
her.
talking.
When he said 1, 2, 3, 4, 10.
There was something
What?
that
He said
responded.
10.
So you could hear us upstairs counting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
As soon
soon as the word 10 came out of your mouth, immediately.
We could hear
spirit box just
Ryan.
That would give
turned
enough time
off.
to come down here.
Ryan
Oh.
was saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Then we heard him say 10. The spirit box instantly died.
Automatically,
And
same
then we
moment.
heard Ryan say
Second.
something like, oh my
Chills,
God, I had
chills.
chills all over my
I
face.
swear happened down here.
Thank you, heard that scooching sound.
I just can't believe that happened. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like that was just set up, you know,
Just perfectly.
right. I couldn't believe it.
What was that? There's gotta be a drip right there.
I heard a footstep. I heard that snap sound, but I heard like a bump.
Why can't we hear your voice?
Was that the kid like out there?
Nope, that was right here.
We just want to make communication.
You're
That's
not
all.
in trouble.
No, not at all.
We're not mad that you're here.
To be honest, I'm kind of jealous that you have such an amazing view of the hillside and the country.
Did he kill you?
Wow. I mean, I've got cold all over me.
Me too, on my left side.
Yeah,
My left
right.
side. My right side's warm.
I mean, ice on my one arm.
And it's not coming in from the door.
It's that air out there is warm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's muggy.
It's warm and rainy and muggy. This is ice air. Whatever you are, you just stay away from me. Go over to Jason, he's got that.
This is a radio in my left hand. But it's a special radio. If you get close to it and speak, we'll hear you. What is your name?
Are you Native American and this was your land, your burial ground?
Got kind of a chill a little bit. My legs and my arms.
Do you?
Yeah. What about you, Ron? So you doing something? You just fixing your watch?
Fixing my watch. No, I'm itching all over from the 80,000 mosquito bites that I have all over my body.
Gotcha.
So I'm just scratching my arms.
Are you Cherokee? You from the Cherokee tribe? Hopefully you know a little bit of English.
What was that? It sounds like woo. You hear that?
Yeah.
He needs some help.
Oh,
What was that?
Up upstairs.
No, when you were over here, I thought I heard like mumbling behind you.
Me?
Yeah. Like, like that.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear it.
Into a chill factor. Like static. What's your name? I'm Steve. It's my friends Ryan and Dave. Our other friends Jason, Paulie, Renee are downstairs. If you missed that.
Right.
Oh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I just saw someone peek in that door from the outside door, not this door, the outside door.
Okay, so they're outside looking in here.
That's what it did the last time we were here.
You saw something in that doorway?
We didn't see it in the doorway, but I could feel it as soon as we
No,
walked
I
out
saw
that doorway. But she
somebody
saw
lean.
something. just
Hey
then.
guys,
From the right or the left? Right.
No,
From the
right.
Okay.
guys,
Yeah?
you wanna come up to the porch?
Do you want to come up to the porch?
Were you just down here?
No?
Okay. Somebody peeked in. Where's your?
We'll be up in a minute. Sounds good.
It's right there. See that little white board?
Yes.
It wasn't any taller than that whiteboard either.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you. She's not sure she wants to get close to us, so she's just peeking, checking things out.
You don't have to be afraid of us, Lucy.
We're not gonna hurt you, Lucy.
Did you hear me swallow? Like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was just like that, and she was gone. Just real quick. I don't know who it was, her or not, but somebody did.
Alright, we are rolling. I'm doing a handheld cam along with the static cam over here. So, over here. Shoot through into here.
Lucy? Lucy? Can you come up here? Hate to say this, but speaking on my opinion here, I don't believe you truly are a female. And I don't believe your real name is Lucy. So what are you? How do you identify? You can shout out your name. We might hear you, we might not.
Got hit one. Trying to see if that's in frame or not. I might have to scoot it back some. That was most definitely in frame.
Yes, sir. You hear that?
What was it?
Right over here in the corner.
I didn't hear anything from in
It's
here.
over here, dude. I can't see. Get a flashlight. What, you just knocked a few paint chips off the wall, is that it?
My bad.
Sound like paint chips or something off the wall.
Really?
Yeah. That's it? A few paint chips. chills. Just thinking of that, I guess.
Something about my finger got real warm.
Really?
I don't know why.
Do more.
I thought I heard somebody say something. Like just a word. Like what started with a W. Like a whisper, like warm or warning or warm, something like that. It was like
Why is it that you kill the people? What's the point?
I can't walk in this room.
That's weird, isn't it? The floor.
Yeah. Can't see where I'm going. We can have all of our equipment set up.
Hey, Rod, what do you think about that fire that happened in the kitchen?
I think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They say they think someone started it, but I don't know. There's no electricity hooked up here, so it couldn't possibly have been that.
You know what I think? The negative entity here, entities here, all they do is feed off the fear. That's your energy. That's your foothold. Well, you're not getting it out of us. You can startle us, that's fine.
We know you're here. You need to give us a sign of your presence. We've been hearing you earlier.
There we go. There we go. Now you figured out how to use it. Do it again.
Are you here now?
There we go. Make it hit the second light. Grab a hold of that antenna.
I think I just saw a light across that wall in there.
Really?
Yeah, I swear I did, right behind you, Ryan.
Oh.
Is that what it was?
Come on. Grab a hold of that, use all your energy. That's it, come on.
It's giving me an uncomfortable feeling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get chills.
Yeah,
Like cobweb chills.
It's okay. I'm starting to get a headache.
Minus the water.
It's getting cooler in here now.
I swear.
has it ever done that before?
It's done that, yeah, but it's not worked here pretty much at all.
Yeah, we're just talking.
Stop it. Back away from it real quick. Make it stop. Make it stop. Then we can use it again.
You have to get up and move. Back up now! Oh wow. I live.
Is that me?
That was, I think, you.
That was me. Yeah.
Now it's gone. Precautionary.
Reset it.
Just for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, reset it.
I'm attached, so just you have to sit close to me.
Okay.
You okay?
Something's right in my back.
What is
Like
it?
a bug went down my back.
A bug?
I swear, I think it's just a bug.
You get a flashlight? Where's the flashlight?
Felt like something crawling right down my back.
Where's your flashlight? Now look.
I mean, that startled me though. That's...
Make sure it's not on there. There's a spider.
Whew, yeah, I don't know what it is. Here. I'm trying to expose anything here.
Here, I put football in here.
And what is that?
Move your hand.
I mean, really?
Wait, did you hit yourself right here?
Huh?
Did you hit yourself right here at all?
Where?
Did you scratch your back at all?
Point, just press on it where? Right there?
Yeah. Because there's scratch marks on your back.
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Oh my, yeah.
There's scratch marks on your back, dude.
No, they're there. They're there.
Is it well?
With
I
or
need the
without?
light.
Okay. So we'll get
Bring
you.
it.
Yeah, they're
Is it-
starting to welt.
You are.
Don't move, don't move. 1, 2, 3. 1, maybe 4.
Just heard
Steady
something
right there.
It's on the voice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can start to film.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
It's starting to burn.
1, 2, 3.
K2 just spiked. Look at it.
It's still spiking.
I'll tell you what. With that, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to walk out. Here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then it.
I'm going to leave
as
this
soon
in
as
here.
that, then this
Here, you
goes
hold on.
off.
This recorder's still
Yeah.
rolling.
It starts spiking.
As soon as
That's
that
just,
happens, the K2 goes off.
Like I say, I mean, I've had a lot of stuff happen. I've been touched more times than I can remember in places. But you know, when you have something like that happen,
There's a
you
different
can
feeling.
actually feel a sensation that's lasting and physically, you know, visually see something on the skin. That's always much different. But this time, it literally felt like a bug started behind my collar here and went straight down the top of my back to my tailbone, basically. It literally felt like a bug. And then the more I just went, for a few seconds later, it just got progressively worse.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's, you know, that, like I said, that shakes, yeah, it shakes me up a little bit. I'll be completely honest, that shakes me up a little bit.
All right, so there we go. So we're out on the porch here. Dave just came back down. He was up charging batteries. He was up trying to get a battery charge because, like we said, no electricity. We have a power inverter up there, and he was running the car, charging a camera battery for us. Now, what did you hear, Dave?
First of all, I didn't know any of that was going on, obviously, because I was up in the car. But
Right, exactly. All that stuff was going on, and then you were coming back down.
I shut the car off and opened the door, and I thought I heard you guys screaming for me from down here.
Did it sound like it was frantic, or?
It sounded like, Dave!
That's really weird. We didn't hear anybody yell anything.
And we'll have the cameras on there too, and the audio to support that we didn't.
And we just now came back outside as he was just coming down.
We were in the bedroom.
We were still in the house, in the cabin.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Before I shut the car off, I was sitting there, and I heard, like, on the glass.
Like tapping on the glass?
Yeah. I forgot about that till just now.
Something wanted you to come back down.
I don't know, I thought it was creepy. Yeah, I thought it was you guys coming up there.
No.
Messing with me. It was just like,
Wow.
Well, the owner says everything, you know, all around, every day, all night, they hear and see things. So,
I don't know. That's weird that
it's hard to
that
expect.
is going
You
on.
don't know what you're going to expect at any time.
Less battery than I have. I have way less battery than I have record time. Well, just 1 minute less.
Oh, how did that drop? How did that drop?
Steve knocked into it.
I didn't touch it.
You didn't?
No.
The bottle fell.
Well, it slipped off. It's round on top. So I didn't bump it.
I thought it was the camera thing.
Alright,
fell.
There would be tears falling.
No, it was sitting just like that.
We'll have to see if somebody bumped into it, because literally you should be able to see it on
I
camera.
did. I didn't feel my hand hit it.
We'll be able to see it
Wasn't
on
sure
camera,
about
so.
Oh, how did that drop? Oh, how did that drop?
So we're down here. We're in the basement. Is that where you wanted us to come?
Whoever upstairs was setting off the REM pod could come down here and do it too.
Do you want to use those, Jason?
I can experiment with them.
Yeah, I have 8 minutes of battery left, 7 minutes of battery, so let's do some of this while I can still shoot you.
We'll just see. Out of curiosity, if it doesn't do anything, we'll just abandon this quick. They look even level.
Could you please cross those rods? If you were the entity that scratched Jason, could you please cross the rods?
Yeah, it was more to do with weights and rain.
What was that?
It was like a ground. It was like,
I won't be able to keep doing this too long. My hands will start shaking.
I'll take a go. I've done it for a while. Alright, Lucy, again, if you're here, can you cross these? Alright, can you separate them? No.
You okay?
Yeah. Oh, fell over there.
If you are indeed buried anywhere underneath any part of this cabin, can you make the rods cross? Was it a result? Did it have anything to do with the KKK? Separate these rods all the way apart. Come on. Yeah. That's how you're going to do it. Separate them all the way apart. Far right, far left. Use our energy.
My stomach broke.
Appreciate that.
Sit on this camera.
Okay.
Oh God.
Mother.
There's a huge spider right here.
I'm taking bad. Me too.
Rolling.
Alright, so we're gonna finish off the evening and our investigation by. There's a handprint on the top of that pile.
Well, you were putting a lot of those in there.
That's true. It's just creepy that that stayed on there like that. Anyway, we're gonna finish off this night by filling in the portal that we tried to open with this. So we're gonna fill in the hole, at least best I can. I'm gonna fill in this hole. So it's the perfect way to end the night. Fill the hole back in.
Thank you. You got a lot up here.
Huh?
You got a lot there. There you go.
It's not flat, but it's about the same as it was.
Yeah, because there's still some missing.
Alright, well, we filled in the hole. And I guess that means we're officially done with this Paranormal Quest investigation of the cursed cabin. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did. Just button it.
So it's pretty chilly out here, but we actually we came out here to meet Renee, right, Dave?
Yes, hopefully she shows up.
Yes, but she has something to tell us about. She has something to tell us about the cabin. Something happened to her after she left, and she told us it might be important. And she said she even is going to bring proof to talk about what happened to her. So whenever she gets here, we're gonna see what happened.
Watch this giant puddle.
Talk about another wonderfully lovely day of weather for...
Oh, it's just beautiful here in Pennsylvania.
Getting the camera all wet.
Oh no.
How are
I
you?
can't believe you guys came all the way down here. You shocked me.
It's not that far.
Hi.
So we decided to come up here to Pennsylvania to meet Renee because she had a little bit of a crazy experience after we left the cabin. Now, Renee, you told us over the phone that, was it 3 days after we left the cabin? You thought you were dying?
Yeah. Well, I went to work and I had a little bit of a deep, achy pain, dull pain in my, right in here. And I got to work and I worked the whole day and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and stronger. And the end of the day, I got home, and by the time I drove home, it's a 45-minute drive, it was clear up here and into my jaw, and it was real deep, and it was extreme pain. So I kept thinking, that's kind of the symptom of a heart attack, you know, but I wasn't sure because I wasn't having pain anywhere else. I was home for a few minutes, and the pain started in my chest, then it started in my back, and then it went down my arm to about here, on the underneath part of my arm. So
that's exactly symptoms of a heart attack.
Yeah. So right away I thought, oh, I better get going. I better get to the emergency room.
Right.
So I went up to the emergency room. I was up there for quite a while. They did a workup. They did EKG. They did CT scan. They did blood work. So then they decided to admit me because they didn't know what was going on, but everything was coming back normal. And so they admitted me overnight for observation, and then they had me do a stress test in the morning. did the stress test. It was like 11 o'clock that night when I was starting to get tired and getting ready to go to sleep up there, that it was just like the pain just all went all at one time. It just stopped.
That's really weird timing, and especially since medically you came back completely fine. It's really strange.
They found absolutely nothing.
That's really strange. And the timing, it's 3 days after we got back from the cabin.
Right.
Now, you had a really weird experience after we packed everything up after we left the cabin. Now, hold on. What is this?
That is the coin that ended up in my left pocket when we were finished filming in the basement. I had nothing in my pocket because I had a vape, a little vape pen.
Right.
And I was digging for it all night because I was putting it back and forth in different pockets because depending what I was doing. And so I know there was absolutely nothing in my pockets of my jacket. And when we finished filming down there and we walked up to the porch, I reached my hand in to get my vape and I heard something clank. And this was in my pocket.
Now,
I have no idea where it came from.
They're probably wondering, okay, well, there's a coin in your pocket. Well, now the odd thing about this is I want you all to take a look at this coin and tell me whether you've ever seen a coin like this. The weirdest part about this coin, from what you see it's definitely something that we had never seen before. And so Steve's kind of an expert in coins. He collects old coins. And he looked into it while we were still there before we left the cabin, and he said, that coin is from Israel. Which is really weird because none of us have ever been to Israel.
No.
And how this coin from Israel showed up in your pocket is really strange.
It's very strange.
I don't know, and then it's very strange that after you found this coin in your pocket, 3 days later you thought you were having a heart attack.
Right. And I've never had heart issues. I've never had anything like that ever in my entire life before. That
cabin is probably the weirdest place.
Yeah.
The weirdest place I've ever been, for sure.
Me too.
So, this is really strange. Do you want this coin back or no?
No, I don't want it.
I think we know a guy. I think we know a guy who is probably gonna keep this, hold on to it. Steve is gonna keep it in his paranormal museum, the Archive of the Afterlife, since it does have some strange paranormal, supernatural connection to it. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and give it to Steve and he'll keep it in the museum.
Well, we just got finished with our interview with Renee, so we're going to take this coin and replace it with Steve because she wanted it to be given to Steve. So that's what we're going to do. We're here at the Archive of the Afterlife Museum in Moundsville, West Virginia. Well, you know how we went up to do that interview with Renee?
Yeah, man.
She sent something back.
What?
She wants you to have this in the museum.
Is that coin that was in her pocket?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
So, like, what all happened in the interview? Like, what all did she say about it?
She didn't really have much to say other than the fact that, you know, when we were investigating, it was in her coat pocket. And she didn't realize how it got there, and I guess you were discussing it with her down there and found out it was a Israeli coin.
Yeah, which would have no...
So she wanted you to have it here for the museum. So.
Yeah, and we're going to have to be careful, too, because Renee kind of thinks that coin is what almost killed her.
Thank you.
Or at least linked.
Somehow, some way, linked to the entity that might have caused the... Like, what happened again?
Well, so, it's weird. She said that she started having pain in her neck.
Okay.
And the pain spread from her neck outward, down her chest, and then down her arm, which are very...
Left arm or right arm?
Yeah, left arm. Very notable symptoms of a heart attack.
Right.
So she went to the doctor, they ran tests, they even kept her overnight, and everything came back fine. And actually, when the doctor came in to discharge her, the doctor even said, The good news is there's nothing wrong with your heart. The bad news is we have no explanation for what's going on with you.
That's interesting.
3 days after we left.
3 days after we left that cabin.
Interesting you mentioned the number 3.
Oh my, yeah.
There's scratch marks on the back there.
No, they're there.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
I guess
Yeah.
that lives here now.
Gee, thanks, Renee. Awesome, yeah, seriously though, on a serious note, this is going to be awesome. We'll definitely do some EVP with it. So we get anything off of it, maybe something's linked to it, attached to it, for that matter.
Anybody wants to come and check it out, it's here.
Have you ever had anybody that actually liked living in that cabin down there that didn't have bad things happen to them?
Everybody gets it, stayed in it, ends up dying.
I mean, there's been a lot of people who have been in this cabin here, specifically died in this cabin, or died because they were in this cabin, they think. They think it's cursed, they think it's haunted, from what I understand.
I don't know. I just know that cabin is a death trap.
People have died.
Yeah.
People that actually lived in this cabin, they left the property and they died because of that. They legitimately think there's a curse.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah. This certainly
This is the weirdest place I've ever been. Weirdest things that ever happened to me in, almost 20 years of investigating. This is the place where the weirdest stuff has ever happened to me.
Bad stuff happens in this cabin when you dig in the basement. This cabin will try and kill you when you dig in the basement.
You want to play hide and seek? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy?
As soon as he said 10.
Yes. As soon as he said 10, that thing stopped.
Exactly.
You saw I did not move any
No. It just dead like that.
Immediately, as soon as he said 10.
What?
Got chills.
I swear I just heard something. Ooh, what? I swear I just heard a whisper that say, "I'm right behind you." No. I swear.
Because there's scratch marks on your back.
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Are you?
There's scratch
No,
marks on
there
your
is.
back, dude.
You know, that, like I said, that shakes, yeah, it shakes me up a little bit. I'll be completely honest, that shakes me up a little bit.
There we go. There we go.
Are you here now?
Make it stop.
Back up now! Renee, you told us over the phone that, was it 3 days after we left the cabin? You thought you were dying?
Yeah. I was home for a few minutes and the pain started in my chest. Then it started in my back and then it went down my arm to about here. And it was real deep and it was extreme pain. So
That's
I thought,
exactly symptoms of a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's really weird timing, and especially since medically you came back completely fine. It's really strange.
They found absolutely nothing.
That's really strange, and the timing, it's 3 days after we got back from the cabin. What is this?
That is the coin that ended up in my left pocket when we were finished filming in the basement. And so I know there was absolutely nothing in my pockets of my jacket. And when we finished filming down there and we walked up to the porch, I reached my hand in to get my vape and I heard something clank. And this was in my pocket.
The weirdest part about this coin, from what you see it's definitely something that we had never seen before. That coin is from Israel. Which is really weird because none of us have ever been to Israel.
No.
And how this coin from Israel showed up in your pocket is really strange.
It's very strange.
I don't know, and then it's very strange that after you found this coin in your pocket, 3 days later you thought you were having a heart attack.
Right.
We just got finished with our interview with Renee, so we're going to take this coin and replace it with Steve because she wanted it to be given to Steve.
What?
She wants you to have this in the museum.
Is that coin that was in her pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to be careful too because Renee kind of thinks that coin is what almost killed her.
So she wanted you to have it here for the museum.
So there wasn't ever really supposed to be a part 3 to the Cursed Cabin episode, and as I was editing part 2, I realized there was a lot of footage, a lot of things that happened that just wouldn't make sense in the episode because of the style we chose. We wanted it to be raw. We wanted you all to feel like you were there with us. So no voiceovers, no cutaways. It had to be as raw as possible for you to understand just the vibe, the feel of this cabin. But that meant a lot of the stuff that was more personal experience, a lot of the stuff that needed explanation got cut out, because I am not even exaggerating. When we were in this cabin, there were times where we legitimately felt we were losing our minds.
No, I didn't say that successfully back to back.
No, there's like a whole section's missing.
There's like a whole section of my recording that's missing.
This cabin, whatever entities or energies are there, it felt like it just messed with us. And no matter how hard we tried to just kind of stay focused on the investigation and on the evidence and being as objective as possible, that things happened that just made us feel like we weren't even living in the real world. Like we had somehow stumbled into this alternate dimension, as weird as it sounds and as corny as it sounds, that we couldn't control. And that could control us.
No.
There's no reason. It's cut out.
It didn't happen that way.
No. We're missing time.
Yeah, it wasn't that close together.
This is important for you all to see, and these reflections that you're going to see really helped shape our own personal opinion about this cabin. And it's crazy.
Once we got off the main road and turned down onto the lane, from where the cabin was at, it's like the entire atmosphere changed, like a timeless feeling, like a surreal feeling, and I'll have to admit it definitely just felt dreadful.
The cabin, arriving there, it was certainly a creepy place. And it was kind of freaky knowing some of the more obscure history of the cabin itself, but more so the stories of David, Polly, and Renee's experiences there in that same cabin years prior during their visits beforehand.
So then, the room that almost killed us pretty much was in here. Heading back to the cabin was definitely a little bit surreal. From the things that had happened the first time we were there with the wood stove, it definitely set in a little bit of apprehension knowing that we were going back in, and there had been a fire before we were there that almost burned the building down, or the cabin down rather, and just knowing that evil, malevolent, if you will, force was still on the property there, it was just a little bit unnerving.
And knowing what I had tried to do to other people as well as them, it was certainly unsettling. But going in, it seemed to be at first eerily quiet. And after some time, it seemed that I began to pick up on more of an increasing threatening feeling or an intimidating feeling. I found myself a few times thinking, should we be in here? Should we leave this place? Should we even be here? We shouldn't be here.
I guess one of the first things that you can't really see and what we couldn't convey, you wouldn't have been able to tell just how much we were being affected by this particular cabin. And there was a point in the night when I started to feel particularly off.
He was acting a bit strange, a little bit out of character. He just seemed kind of taken back, a little bit, I don't know, reclusive. You want to go see if they got anything? Or see if they want to come up and chat?
Polly and Renee and Jason were still in the basement. Dave and Steve went out on the porch, and I decided I was just going to stay. I was just going to stay in there by myself, which Polly had always warned us, don't ever go anywhere in this cabin by yourself.
All got up to go together because we weren't going to be in here alone anywhere.
You shouldn't be by yourself.
And over the next couple of minutes, I just felt myself kind of immersing myself into the vibe and the energy of the cabin. And I didn't realize it until I watched the footage back in the editing process, but there was a point when I was in that bedroom by myself that I stood in the same spot for about 8 minutes straight, didn't move, didn't say anything, didn't look up, didn't even at the time realize where I was.
And after walking into the cabin, I think I found him into the bedroom area where they had like the box spring on the floor and everything. After I approached him and after I believe said something to the effect like, "How are you?" or "What's up?"
What you got going on, brother? You got so much worry.
Huh?
You got so much worry. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
You kind of saw him.
He seemed to kind of pull out of a type of state of mind he was in. And of course, after watching the footage, he definitely seemed like he was being affected by something in there.
I don't know. I still don't know to this day what that was and why it didn't escalate further than that. But it was weird. It was very, very weird, and it was very unsettling.
I definitely think one of the interesting attributes of this location we're investigating, again, was just what seemed like the absence of time.
Time seemed to just drag on, so much more than in reality actually had transpired. We were there maybe a little over 12 hours, and it felt as if we had been there for days.
Which is very subjective when you think about it, but it's interesting because it seemed as though the energy of this cabin played on that subjective quality, that subjective emotional quality.
It was so noticeable that at one point, all 6 of us actually experienced it simultaneously. We were in the basement. This was getting a little bit late, and we were doing a session. And there came a point when Ryan, more or less, I believe he had lost his balance or something.
And I specifically remember because we had just heard it was like a mumble hum type situation, which ended up being Renee. But that happened, and I had lost my balance. I fell back, and after I caught my balance, in my mind and in the moment, I remember apologizing for falling, saying,
My balance was thrown off there.
and then there was a long pause before I heard this hum, mumble, whatever you want to call it.
Did you guys just whisper something? Ladies, you didn't whisper anything?
Yeah.
Which was really strange because when we played back the digital voice recorder, we were shocked because it happened in succession. You hear me fall backwards, say, "Oh, I lost my balance," but then it was, "Oh, did you hear that?" Immediately.
No, I didn't say that successively back to back.
No. There's like a whole section's missing.
There's like a whole section of my recording that's missing.
No.
Dude, there's no reason. It's cut out.
It didn't happen that way.
No, we're missing time.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Hey, wait a minute. There's time missing on that recorder. There was a malfunction. There seems to be 20, 30 seconds of time missing on this audio. What just happened to that point that it seems like something happened to the audio, like there was a lapse of time? And of course, video is what it is. And watching back on the video, we can realize that there is no lapse in time. There was none.
Ooh. My balance was thrown off there. Did you guys just whisper something? Ladies, you didn't whisper anything?
Yeah.
It felt as if, and all 6 of us had felt this at once, that more time had transpired than what I actually had.
And there was no time. It was successive. It happened immediately. I lost my balance. I fell backwards. When I regained my balance, we heard the noise and asked about it. And I have no idea how we could have completely imagined, hallucinated that time being there in between, and how when all of us reviewed it, we could be so adamant, so absolutely sure that that time was there, that we were willing to document it, check the settings on the recorder even.
Wait, listen.
Do you have the active voice thing on?
No. Go in here, and this is the voice activation. It's off right now.
We just lost.
Go show them it's off.
Okay.
It doesn't even make sense the way that sounds.
I will show you. This setting is is off. If you don't believe me here, it is off. The voice activation is off. That is the way it's been set. And there's a whole section of that recording that is just missing.
And it disoriented us in that way. Whatever was in this cabin was so strong, so powerful, and certainly in that moment, that we were able to all experience that.
It was like the mind games, and we didn't even know it. It was messing with us, and we didn't even know it.
Wait, what? You passed it. No way. No, I didn't say that successively back to back.
No, there's like a whole section's missing.
There's like a whole section of my recording that's missing.
No.
Dude, there's no reason. It's cut out.
It didn't happen that way.
No, we're missing time.
It's really weird because it seemed like the cabin implanted itself in our brains before we even made it there, with Steve and Jason having these dreams that connected to the cabin.
So when we first found out that we were going to be filming at this location, Jason was telling us about a dream that he had, which oddly enough tied back into an experience that Mom and I had the first time we were there.
Probably about a month ago, a couple weeks after we first started planning this trip here to the cabin with you all, we're at the house in Wheeling, and I was asleep, and I began having what I thought was a dream. I didn't see any pictures, but I was hearing this very disturbing voice. It sounded like it was in pain, almost like a mix between a scream or a groan, moan. Basically, it was just, and it just kept going like that for like 2 or 3 minutes straight. And it was very unsettling sounding, very disturbing sounding. It sounded like it was right here in my ear, very loud. And I kept hearing this until finally, what felt to be a few minutes, I opened my eyes. When I opened my eyes, even though the lights were out in the room, I could barely see over by the door leading into our hallway. There was this tall, slender, solid dark shadow that was moving right to left, moving very slowly, very smooth movement. It was almost like its neck was bent down, just kind of looking down. It moved probably about 4 or 5 feet. I saw it move from inside the living room into the hallway, and I'm watching this thing moving. No sound with it. But again, I started seeing it as soon as I opened my eyes and that groaning, screaming noise stopped. I thought it was Dave, and I kind of made a little noise thinking. I said something thinking it was Dave, for him to acknowledge, and I didn't hear anything back. And I thought, I was half awake anyway, and I thought, I discredited it, and I looked in at the stove, at the clock. It was 3:39, and I'm just not one to typically wake up in the middle of the night and see something like that. I know some people have things like that. I don't have visions. If so, that would have been the first one in my life that I had when I just wake up. And when I told you all about that earlier, the same sound, I recreated that sound I was hearing. Y'all had an effect from it, your reaction, because you said, wait a minute, that's exactly like what you heard that night.
It was horribly loud. And he was screaming as loud as he could scream. But we thought he was, just pretty drunk and he was just screaming at a TV, but there was no TV in here. No radio, nothing.
Spiritually wise, it was very oppressive. And my take on that, it definitely has something demonic there.
It seemed like after we left, we had the investigation, we had the experience, and then after we left, it continued to be on our brain and on our minds, and it's like every time you think about it, every time you start talking about it, strange and unusual things start happening around us, from seeing shadow figures moving to hearing footsteps. When I was editing the episode, constantly, the edit bay where I work is in our house. I had a lot of creepy stuff happen. I took breaks from editing, and I heard footsteps run through my bedroom, through the bathroom, and almost out into the kitchen. And then I heard a voice, I heard like a laugh, just a few minutes after that. It's just, I don't know, there's something weird with that cabin, and I can't explain it. And I don't know if I want to. I really don't know if I want to.
I do know prior to the investigation, about a week or so beforehand, I had a very vivid dream. It really bothered me because it included one of my best friends. I was in this, what would seem like a one-story house, but all I could see was just what was in the immediate area around me within 10 to 15 feet. And for some odd reason, I had this paper ball, this little crumpled up piece of paper, and I would throw it, and it would come back to my hand, and then when I throw it, it would go into the recesses of like the dark area of the room of the house. I couldn't see it, but it would come back to my hand. And then the next thing I realized, I'm in the same room, but I'm standing up, pretty much the same area. But Dave was actually standing in front of me with his back to me. And as I reach out to tap him on the shoulder, say, "Hey, Dave," he turned around real fast and looked at me. And when he's looking at me, his eyes were just solid black. He was talking to me in a voice that was very deep, had a very almost electronic, tinny type of raspy sound to it. It was very hard to describe. It was very, very unsettling. And then I woke up shortly after. This is one of the few dreams that I've had it'll haunt me for the rest of my life.
There was a point when we were actually in the living room. We were doing a session. There had been a little bit of provocation, and the REM pod was on the mattress. It had never went off the entire night. And it goes off for the first time. It begins to trigger. And we've been around it many times going off. I've seen it. And this time was so much different than anywhere else, because when that REM pod went off, an overwhelming sense of what I could just overall call dread, negativity, just came over me.
There we go. There we go.
And I felt like, deep down my gut was telling me I need to get out of here.
Are you here now?
There we go.
But while this is happening and I'm picking up on this, there was almost as if a tension headache directly behind my eyes that started, and it increasingly got worse the more this REM pod was going off. And I got very apprehensive about the whole situation, and I was thinking about actually stepping out, and I thought, no, I'm going to wait. And moments later, of course, I had actually gotten scratched.
Because your scratch marks on your back.
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Oh my, yeah.
There's scratch marks on your back.
No, they're there. They're there.
Is it well?
With or without a light.
Yeah, they're starting to welt. Mm-hmm.
You are.
Don't move. 1, 2, 3.
But to be already feeling a sense of threatening feeling, intimidation, or what some people would call oppression, and then be physically attacked, so to speak, that is, it's very personal. And like I say, it really did shake me up a good bit, but it's how the cabin, it seems to affect a person personally. It seemed to affect us all personally, affecting us physically and the states of mind we were in.
But still, the most bizarre experience, the most bizarre phenomena that took place at this cabin would most definitely have to be with that coin that Renee found in her pocket.
And so I know there was absolutely nothing in my pockets of my jacket. And when we finished filming down there and we walked up to the porch, I reached my hand in to get my vape and I heard something clank. And this was in my pocket.
The coin is definitely far outer space type of weird. It's something that I've never witnessed anything like that before. It's very weird how it ended up in her pocket. She was very adamant that she had never seen the coin before, that she never put the coin into her own pocket, and that when she found it, she did seem very surprised. It was authentic, it was genuine.
But as we were downstairs, I was asking some questions, and every time I would look over towards Renee, I was picking up on more of a male presence. Very threatening, intimidating almost. And it was so noticeable and so palpable that I was so uncomfortable by the whole feeling, I stopped looking at her. I strayed away from looking her, even her direction. And whether it was related or not, shortly after we had finished the session, we actually had stepped out. Renee is digging in her pockets, and she said, "What is this?" And had found a little coin that somehow just physically manifested in her jacket pocket, and had never seen it before in her life. Certainly hadn't had it, of course, on her person that evening. And said, "Where in the world did this come from?" And it was during the time we were in that basement when it had came to be inside her jacket pocket.
What I found interesting is what a friend of mine sent to my messenger. It's in the Bible, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verses 15 through 16. "The first offering of every womb, both human and animal, that is offered to the Lord is yours. But you must redeem every firstborn son and every firstborn male and female, if you will, of unclean animals. When they are a month old, you must redeem them at a redemption price set at 5 shekels of silver."
And after we were looking at it, and we were just so astonished and just shocked by this, and certainly Renee was. I mean, Renee was genuinely just so utterly shocked by this coin. You could just tell. She's like, "What in the world?" And so we were so intrigued by this. Steve had actually recognized that the coin was an Israeli coin. And being from Israel and showing up in her pocket right then when it did and where it did, just the fact that that happened is crazy.
I have no idea whether the two are connected. Renee's mysterious health condition that she felt made her feel like she was having a heart attack, and this coin, I don't know if they're connected, but it's very bizarre that she was the one that found this coin in her pocket. And when she went home, she had a very interesting medical episode that left her in the hospital overnight and left her wondering whether she was actually going to die of a heart attack.
I was home for a few minutes and the pain started in my chest. Then it started in my back and then it went down my arm to about here, on the underneath part of my arm. So
That's exactly symptoms of a heart attack.
Yeah. So right away I thought, oh, I better get going. I better get to the emergency room.
Maybe something that was attached to the coin or had some sort of likeness to that coin in a previous life, or maybe just an entity that is attached to the cabin had made some sort of attachment to the coin.
I don't know what this coin is. I don't know whether it carries any energy. I don't know whether this coin has any special connection to that cabin. The only thing I know is Renee found this in her pocket, and we got to find out more about it. So we're going to have to do a session here tonight to try and communicate with whatever energies are attached to this coin and to find out if it is the one that tried to kill Renee, or if it is the one that kills people in that cabin. As you can see, we have this setup going. The coin is going to go onto this mirror that is in front of us, and to make sure we can see the coin as well as when the REM pod goes off, we have a camera right up here, and it is pointed directly at this mirror, and it will be able to see the coin pretty visibly. So I don't know, we're ready. Are you guys ready to find out whether or not this coin actually has some energy to it?
Absolutely.
I'd like to see what happens.
So let's go ahead and get this going. Let's go lights out.
All right.
Yes.
So Steve, you want to go ahead and dump that thing out there?
Yeah. This is going to be the coin that Renee found in her pocket, that she believes actually had some influence, maybe might have some connection to her medical issues that she had after we left the cabin. So I don't know. We'll find out in real time with you all. So far we're rolling on audio. We have a PSP-7 spirit box, and we have a REM pod as well as another proximity meter behind us.
I've been hearing several noises back there.
Yeah, sounds like something's moving around back there.
Maybe the energy from the coin is starting to interact with the energy that's already in the room.
Interact or interfere?
Either or.
Could be. So
this was on, you said?
It is on, yes. All I know is that this coin has a really strange vibe to it.
Yeah, I have a weird sense of being at the moment. I don't know. It's odd.
Yeah, ever since we put it on that mirror, it's gotten a little bit of a different, I almost feel like I got a little bit of a headache going on, which is strange because during the investigation, right before Jason was scratched, he actually complained about feeling like he was getting a headache or that there was a pressure in his head right before he got scratched. So I don't know, maybe the energy of the cabin's already here. We're speaking to the entity or energy that's attached to this coin right here. The first thing we want to know, and you can say it out loud so we can capture it on recording. Here in a minute, we're going to turn on a device that will allow us to hear you when you speak. We want to know why Renee found this coin in her pocket. Can you tell us why you put it there?
Like something touched my finger.
Did it?
Yes. It's just like...
Huh. Yeah. Did you touch Dave's finger? Are you already starting to mess with us?
Something metal, metallic. It might have been the doctor's chair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know you're here by doing this. Can you do that? If this is too close, there's one right back there. You can do the same thing.
Just like at the cabin when it was laying on the mattress on the box springs. There we go. There we go. Now you figured out how to use it. Do it again.
Are you here now?
There we go.
Something feels off, but if this makes sense, it feels like something feels like it's off, but it doesn't feel like it's here.
Well, this could be something that we're in. I mean, it's one thing that they were dealing with is it may not even be an intelligent entity. It might be just the energy of that curse. You know what I mean?
Could be.
And maybe that energy of that curse, or at least a little part of that, is attached to this coin, but it's not something that can intelligently communicate.
Could be.
And or the keys. And or the keys. And or the keys.
So there's a device right here that if you speak loud enough, it will be able to hear and pick up your voice. We'll be able to hear you if you talk through this.
What's your name?
Can you tell us what this coin represents? What is it? And why did Renee find it in her pocket?
There's something there. Can you repeat that?
What does this coin represent? What?
I don't know, just there for a minute I was just kind of listening and it sounded like when we were on the front porch of the cabin and all you could hear was the crickets and the rain.
Yeah.
And so for a second it was just like I could hear that. It was really, really weird.
If we were to go back to the cabin, what would you do to us?
Are you here with us? Let us know. Whoa.
If you are attached to that coin, talk to us now or we're gonna go back down there to that cabin and we're gonna bulldoze it.
Okay. Burn it to the ground. Weird choice of words. I wonder if Lucy is attached to this in some way.
Hello, Lucy? Do you want to play hide and seek? If I count to 10, will you hide and then let us know where you are after we hit 10? How about let's start off with the speaker. I'll count to 10. You hide inside. That was a little girl's voice, dude. I just got the most chilling.
I couldn't make it out.
We'll have to play that.
You hide inside. You hide inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy? Something like that, right here.
That's what I thought it said right here.
Right here?
It was a male.
Yeah, it was a male.
That was not Lucy, can you tell us how old you are? Just give us a number. What was that?
What do you guys think? You think we should destroy this coin?
I think we should. Here, let me hold both this and that and see if there's a connection. If I hold this coin, what'll happen to me? Will you enter my body? Or will I be cursed?
Whoa.
What?
Just felt like something knocked on the table right there.
I felt that. I thought that was you, though.
No, that was not me. That was not me.
That's weird. The recorder's right over there beside it, so it should pick it up.
Whoa. Whoa. What? If that was you, do it closer to this. Okay. I'll even move it up that way.
Was Renee supposed to keep this coin?
Not cool.
Sorry.
Not cool. You're very gonna drop it.
Was she supposed to keep that coin? And there's a lot of ancient folklore relating to a Dybbuk Is that what's at that cabin? Is that cabin a giant Dybbuk box?
There's a strong spirit attached to the museum that's blocking communication. Can you please step back and let us communicate?
What did that say?
I'm not sure.
Either way, it's bad.
What is your name?
Jesus Christ, that scared the out of me.
Not as bad as you drop the coin.
Oh, God.
Do we need to take this coin back to where we got it? Does it need to go back to the cabin? Does it say yes?
There's a woman.
What will happen if we take it back to the cabin?
We need a clear answer. Do we take the coin back to the cabin or not?
If the coin was put in her pocket on purpose, here's the reason.
Yeah.
Or
Why did you put the coin in her pocket?
If it's bad, I think it should stay here, where it's away from her. If it's good, it should go back. But then again, we have to make sure for certain that it indeed is good for her.
Right.
Because she had it on her when she had her heart situation. I would be very apprehensive of introducing that back to her in her life.
Right. I agree. I don't know. I don't think we should trust it to give it back to her.
No.
And I don't think she would take it. That's the problem. I do not, after what she said when we talked to her about her health issues, after what she said. Now, I think also one thing that nobody said yet, something that we need to also take into consideration is that the coin was, because obviously the manifestation of the coin can't be ignored. That's weird, that's unexplained, that's super strange. Mm-hmm. But what if there's nothing attached to the coin? What if the coin was just a message? What if there is no entity here with it? What if there is nothing attached to it? What if it's just a coin? And the coin is what it was always intended to be, and that is a coin.
It's either that or it's whatever is attached to it, in my opinion. It comes and goes as it wants to, and it doesn't really care what we think or say.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we had a comment on the part 2 of this episode, and the gentleman said, you don't realize, basically he said you don't realize what you've done by calling this out, that you'll call it out and tell it to hurt you now, but it's not going to do it. When you want it, it's going to work on its time, something that we've always said from the beginning. You know, there's no concept of time, especially in this situation.
Obviously, we lost.
Yeah. And
that's something I've always believed in.
Maybe this is something that we're going to have to wait for.
Alright, coin and whatever is attached to it, cabin, entity, demon, whatever you are, we're signing off. So you gotta stay with that coin there, buddy. And all of us are out of bounds. So
our families, our belongings, you cannot attach to us. Our families, belongings, anything. You stay with the coin, just as Dave said.
And if you want to try and kill me, good luck.
that is writing on the wall. I may end up walking out if it comes down to it.
And she had said before, when we were here, that he had said, don't dig in the basement. If you don't bother it, it won't bother you.
We're gonna dig in the basement.
Don't. It just said don't. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
We have pinpointed the moment that the coin entered Renee's pocket.
I do not like it down here. All alone, it is very creepy. I have a very, very bad feeling.
But we're gonna go in there tonight and face it head on. So we are back again, returning to the cursed cabin.
Have you ever had anybody that actually liked living in that cabin down there that didn't have bad things happen to them?
Everybody else, everybody gets it, laid in it, ends up dying.
People have died.
Yeah.
People that actually lived in this cabin, they left the property and they died because of that. They legitimately think there's a curse. This is a location we've been really nervous to return to because 2 years ago, when we investigated this location, we had some pretty negative activity.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where are you, Lucy?
As soon as he said 10.
Yes. As soon as he said 10, that thing stopped.
Exactly.
You saw I did not
Yeah.
move any
No.
switch.
What?
Get chills.
I swear I just heard something. Ooh, what? I swear I just heard a whisper that say, I'm right behind you. No, I swear.
We had disembodied voices in the cabin with us.
Oh no, they're playing a Native American chant upstairs. Okay, good. Whew.
Jason was scratched across his back.
Because there's scratch marks on your back.
Up here?
Yeah.
There is.
Ryan, get over here, dude. You want to see this?
Oh my, yeah.
There's scratch on his f***ing back, dude.
No, they're there. They're there.
Is it well?
With or
I need
without?
the light.
Okay. This one will get
Bring
you.
it.
Yeah, they're
Is it-
starting to welt. Mm-hmm.
You are
Don't move, don't move, don't move.
like a voice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can start to film.
Yeah, I can see it.
Starting to burn.
And probably the strangest occurrence of the night was when Renee found a rare Israeli coin in her pocket.
What is this?
That is the coin that ended up in my left pocket when we were finished filming in the basement.
They're probably wondering, okay, well, there's a coin in your pocket. Well, now the odd thing about this is I want you all to take a look at this coin and tell me whether you've ever seen a coin like this. The weirdest part about this coin, from what you see it's definitely something that we had never seen before. And so Steve's kind of an expert in coins. He collects old coins, and he looked into it while we were still there before we left the cabin, and he said, that coin is from Israel.
The experiences in this cabin made us really nervous to come back here and investigate again.
Oh yeah, nervous, apprehensive, almost maybe an understatement. Of course, none of the 6 of us are people that turn away, turn down, back away from places like this. We just kind of face it and go head first. So hopefully we'll, won't be able to stir up anything too nasty tonight, but it's still young, so.
Yeah, I mean, just from your point of view, because you had a very negative experience in there when you were scratched across the back, and you haven't gone inside the cabin yet today at all.
No.
What do you feel, or how do you feel about going back in here with the same energy or entity that tried to physically harm you last visit?
Definitely more of a respect for whatever it is, you know. I mean, it's definitely a newfound respect, understanding of its abilities and its potential. It, as in, you know, we don't know exactly what this is that we're dealing with, human or something a little stranger. But yeah, apprehensive, just, I don't know. I'm already a little bit on edge, so you know, don't be surprised if I happen to just go out real fast, and that is writing on the wall. I may end up walking out if it comes down to it. With that, I'm just going to walk out. I'm just going to walk out of here.
What's interesting is Polly just told us today that she noticed something in the original part 1 of the Cursed Cabin episode, and that was actually a clip that wasn't used in the second part. When I was editing it together, I omitted that section of part 2, just because I wasn't quite sure how it would fit into the investigation, but I used it in the tease in part 1.
You all right?
What is it?
What was
What
that?
was that?
What was that?
I just heard something.
It was behind us.
That sounded like a loud movement.
It was big.
And Polly has all of us convinced now that we have pinpointed the moment that the coin entered Renee's pocket. As she's standing there, we hear a noise behind us that almost sounds like metallic movement, and we spin around and look. But just before we spin around and look, Renee's jacket is pulled, the pocket of her jacket, the same pocket where she found that coin. You can see it pull 3 times.
You all right?
What is it?
What was
What
that?
was that?
What was that?
I just heard something.
It was behind us.
That sounded like a loud movement.
When we interviewed the owner of this cabin, she told us about multiple deaths of people that have lived in this cabin and then died. How many people have actually died in there?
It's the one that hasn't died in there, gets sick, that's been trying to stay on, and end up dying. Charlene, Jack, Tiny, Bill, Daddy. I just know that cabin is a death trap.
One thing that we can't understand is how this curse actually works. And since we were here 2 years ago, there's been another death associated with the curse that they believe is on this cabin. The owner said that a young man who lived in the area approached her and asked her if he could come over the hill and strip copper out of the cabin. And she told him that he should not go down there, and she would not recommend him even going anywhere near this cabin, because that is how terrified they are of this cabin. She's not sure whether or not he actually came down here or not. She is under the impression that he still came down here. And 3 days later, they found his body up on top of the hill, and he had died of an overdose. What's strange about that is it always comes in threes. The boy, 3 days after he asked to strip copper, he's found dead. 3 days after we investigate this cabin last time, Renee has symptoms of a heart attack. Her jacket pocket is pulled 3 times. Jason is scratched on the back, and he has 3 scratches. It's just very strange.
Just so you guys know, like, I'm feeling chills
Are ya?
all on my back right now. You know, just instantaneously. Well, as soon as we started going on the topic of threes,
Yeah.
like the whole back of my neck, my arms, and everything.
Wow. Yeah. It's weird, and while we're here tonight...
And my eyes are starting to well up, too.
Well, if there's anybody back there behind Steve, we're going to talk to you here in just a little bit. We ask you to come in and talk to us when we're here tonight. We're going to try and communicate. We want to have a conversation, find out why you hurt people in this cabin. But while we're here, we're going to try and look into these very odd coincidences surrounding the number 3, to find out whether it is a coincidence or whether there is some very important numerology in that. But the coincidence is just too strong. That number appears everywhere we look when we look at the evidence that we captured in this cabin. We don't have an explanation for it. I don't know what's here in this cabin. I don't think any of us have any idea what haunts this cabin or what this curse is. But we're gonna go in there tonight and face it head on.
So here we are, the 6 of us. We are about to officially enter this cabin. And here we go. This is going to be our first session of the night.
Let's get in there. It feels weird in here. Is that just me? Is there anyone here who remembers us from 2 years ago?
Can you give us a sound to let us know you're here?
What was that?
Sounded like downstairs.
Yeah. Sounded like movement.
That's the second time I've heard that.
Yeah. What was that?
Sounded like downstairs.
Yeah. Are you down in the basement? Is that it?
Yeah.
You can actually feel that in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You can actually feel that in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
What's right below this? The big room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run down there and check it out and see what's down there.
And I could actually feel that through
I
my
felt the
boot.
vibration, yeah.
Okay, we're hearing some noises from down here in the basement, so I'm running down here to check and see if there's anything down here. Any animals or anything like that that might have gotten in through the door.
If you're still down there, give Ryan a sound. He's in the basement with you.
Hello? Is there anyone down here? Okay. I do not like it down here. All alone, it is very creepy. I got a very, very bad feeling. I don't like this one bit. Who's around me right now?
Last time we were here, there was scratching going down the wall down there behind Jason. Can you do that again?
I'm freaked out, guys.
He's coming back.
Is that doorway?
There's nobody down there. Could you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Who asked the question about scratching on the wall behind Jason?
Me.
Okay, it didn't sound like you from down there.
It didn't?
No, it was weird. It was like gave me chills because it sounded almost like a mixture of your voice and Jason's voice.
Huh.
It's kind of creepy. Could be just it was muffled from the floor.
More than likely. Yeah.
It's definitely creepy in the basement, though. Let me just point that out. Like my fight or flight response kicked in a little bit there for no reason.
Which end of the basement, this end?
I went in the room that's right underneath of us right now, and I don't feel it. Right now, standing up here, I don't feel it at all. Like, I don't feel sick at all anymore.
It's calm. It's been calm up here.
Yeah.
I've been curious about something. She wants us to dig in the part of the basement that's closest to her house, right that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The ground is soft.
Right. But a lot of the stuff that's happened to you, like the first night you guys were here, Mountaineer Paranormal, kind of happened, like with the stove and all that happened in the kitchen, right? The part that caught on fire, correct?
Right.
What if whatever's supposedly or allegedly buried on this property is not exactly buried under the basement, but buried underneath where the kitchen's at? It seems like everywhere she wanted us to dig was towards that side of the basement and closer to the house. That point of the basement that's covered with concrete is close to the corner where the kitchen used to be. Yeah, because we can't dig in the big part of the basement; it's all concrete.
Right.
And when we got down 2.5, 3 feet, there was like a plank of wood. We couldn't really dig it all out, but we pounded on it with the shovel and it sounded hollow underneath. For some reason they want that dug.
Yeah.
Bad stuff happens in this cabin when you dig in the basement. This cabin will try and kill you when you dig in the basement. So I think we need to dig in the basement tonight.
And she said, right on his deathbed, didn't she say?
Mm-hmm.
And
On
he
his
said,
deathbed, his last words he spoke.
whatever you do, don't dig in that basement. That's what she said today.
So her grandfather, who pretty much built the cabin,
Her husband's grandfather.
or her husband's grandfather, who pretty much built the cabin, said, whatever you do, don't dig in the basement.
Yeah. And she had said before, when we were here, that he had said, don't dig in the basement. If you don't bother it, it won't bother you. But nobody knows what the it is because he didn't tell them. He wouldn't tell them what it was.
Right. That's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? I guess that's what we're here to find out. All right, so in the kitchen back there behind Steve, that kitchen used to be one of the most active areas in this cabin, and you set it on fire. Or something set it on fire. It's now almost completely gone. Use this fire as energy. Use it to make something happen.
or if you can, put the fire out.
You've already torched this room. Ryan's holding an element that'll help you torch this room. Is that what you want? You want the whole cabin torched to the ground? We brought you the element to do it.
See, we have to find out first, before this cabin goes, we have to find out what you're hiding in the basement, why you don't want people to dig. So here in a little bit, we're going to go down there and we're going to try and figure it out. And if you don't want us to dig, you're more than welcome to try and stop us.
Maybe there is no rhyme or reason to why you're here. Someone long ago or more recent, maybe they brought you here, allowed you to be here. And all you want to do is screw with people. Lead them to their deaths, lead them to paranoia, frighten ladies. All the while you know that they can't see you, and they can't, in their own minds, do anything about it.
So stop hiding. You know you like to play with fire.
Can you do that? Just like that. Breeze past it. Make the flame move. Do you want me to put this flame to the ceiling and get it started and then have us take off and run for the hills? What do you think? Flame a no-go? Take it back outside? Before somebody drops it and the place goes up in a blaze? Okay, so this is just an amp with pedals on it, and it filters out the sweeping of the spirit box, and it's a PSP-7 spirit box. So the voices that you're hearing through are not from any application or computer program. It's just from a PSP-7. Just from a spirit box. What's your name? What was that?
Who makes the fire?
Isn't that weird?
Who makes the fire?
There were 3 different words that came through all with the same voice.
Are there people buried in the basement? What'd that say?
Thought it said F you.
I did too.
I thought I heard.
That's what was.
That's why I turned around. I thought I heard.
Are we allowed to dig in the dirt?
That sounded a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
Do you not want us to dig? We're gonna dig in the basement. Don't. It just said don't. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm.
Why?
That was clear. We're gonna dig in the basement. We're gonna dig in the basement. Don't. It just said don't. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm.
Why can we not dig in the basement?
Did it say please don't? I hurt them. Did you hear that?
I heard hurt them.
I heard hurt them. I heard please don't. I hurt them. Did it say please don't? I hurt them. How did you hurt them?
Is there a woman buried? Is there a woman buried under here?
It sounded like a woman.
First woman we've heard.
Who built this cabin? What is your name? Oh. One, two, three, eat. I heard 1, 2, 3. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Counting to 3.
But while we're here, we're going to try and look into these very odd coincidences surrounding the number 3. But the coincidence is just too strong. That number appears everywhere we look when we look at the evidence that we captured in this cabin.
We're gonna take a shovel and go and dig in the basement. Right now.
You can't stop us. Are there 3? Could there be 3 bodies buried down there? Is one a woman?
All right, well, we're gonna go down there and dig.
We're gonna dig the whole basement up. We're gonna find your secret.
We were told by the owner, just like last time, that it makes something angry to dig in the basement. The original builder of the cabin on his deathbed said, don't dig in the basement, whatever you do. Even talked about something that it could unleash, so we did it last time, we're doing it this time.
When was this built?
The cabin was built in 1929.
So it shouldn't be very, very deep. Maybe over a foot. Now, of course, if we were to find something down here, we'll have to,
Yeah.
you know,
It's our
get a hold of
property.
the police or somebody. If we find human remains, I mean.
Left? Should I move to the left?
You getting mad? Come on, you know what the secret is.
I'm here with Renee, and we're going to be incorporating a certain item into the investigation as we go back down into the basement here at the Cursed Cabin. Renee, does this look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Is this the coin that you found in your pocket, right?
Yep,
Be your left pocket, right?
my left pocket.
And what we want to do is to take the coin back into the basement of the cabin, into the same area, same place that it appeared in your pocket.
Okay.
So, what do you think about that? You up to it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sit on down there.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna sit right on top.
Setting the coin right there on top of the EDI meter.
As you already know, we're back. We come to make communication with you. We brought an item back that someone or something from this cabin put into our friend Renee's pocket, and it's right over there on top of that device. Can you touch that coin? There's a lot of people that don't believe you exist, that don't believe that you have the capability to do what we know that you did. Were you being nice to Renee? If so, it's kind of hard to believe that when she had heart trouble 3 days after visiting here. Now, one thing, we're unsure of why someone would want to hurt Renee. She's one of the sweetest people we've ever known. And I think I can speak for all of us. It kind of pisses us off that you would try and hurt our friend. Or scare our friend.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Right above,
Yeah, that was way above us.
right here.
We're talking to you. Or scare our friend. Or scare our friend.
Did you hear that?
Pick on a person like Renee.
Yeah, right. What did happen? Hold this. Something that's crawling on me or something.
Is it a bug?
Turn around.
I don't know, but it was like going like this right down my arm. On the, like under your shirt? Like right here.
I don't see anything in the air.
We've been walking through here, there wouldn't be any cobwebs. We've been in and out here multiple times.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Right above us. It was above us again.
Was that above or the couch?
That was just right above.
Very close.
I don't know, that was weird. It was just like going like that down my arm.
Maybe, is that what you felt, Steve, the last time when you jumped?
Yeah.
But if you listen back to the end of part one, like we watched, her puppet moves first.
And then
Then you jump, and then you hear this noise, sounds to me like a handful of coins being thrown against the wall.
You alright?
What
What
is
was
it?
that? What was
What
that?
was that?
What was
I
that?
just heard something.
It was behind us.
That sounded like a loud movement.
It was big.
Physical state.
The sound distracted everybody.
And they could have been actual coins, but like from their side of the
Right.
spirit veil, in a way.
And one slipped through.
Which means, if she was standing here, and it went in her pocket, which would be this one right here, right, the left one,
Right.
they would have been right here, more than likely. Because it would have had to come down this way, into the pocket.
No, so what's happening here is we are in the basement of the cursed cabin where we are splitting up exactly how we were 2 years ago when we had an insane amount of activity. We had myself, Dave, and Steve down here in the basement, and then Polly, Renee, and Jason upstairs.
Okay, we're ready to begin.
All right, we are too.
So we're gonna start whispering, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Is there anyone down here who wants to talk to us? Could you knock one of these meters off of the couch?
If there's anyone here, my name is Jason. This is Polly and Renee.
Did you bury people in this basement? Make that thing light up if you did.
In the middle of us, we have a candle.
We know your secret.
You can use the flames as your energy.
And we're going to tell everybody your secret. Unless you knock that off of there or make it light up. Do it.
We're in a circle. And when we were here before, years ago, a friend was making circles on a piece of paper. He said, there's meaning in the motion. So what is the meaning of a circle?
We're not sure how the fire started in the kitchen. But we can always make sure it finished the job. Do you want this place torched to the ground? Yes or no?
Why do you like fire so much?
Want this place torched? There's none. What was that? What?
Did you set the kitchen on fire?
Are you guys sitting down?
Yes.
What was that noise?
We didn't hear anything.
Really?
What did you hear?
It sounded like dragging from up there.
Or a hissing sound.
Or like a hissing sound.
I thought it came from wherever you did. That was weird. The camera had to have picked that up.
Okay, back to whispering. Sorry.
Can you show us what you can do with this fire here between the three of us?
And the only way that you're going to prove it is there's two devices right here. Interact with one of them.
Was that your belly?
What was that?
I don't know. I thought it was her belly. It wasn't.
That was right between you all.
Did you go? Mm-mm. That was what I heard. I thought that was you.
Mm-mm.
Did you used to murder people down here? And bury them?
I thought it was was you. Because I thought you went, that wasn't you.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was your belly growling.
No. I mean, if it was, I would have said it.
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Get back to the, well, you were saying, show us what you could do with the fire, right?
Can you show us what you can do with the fire here in between the three of us? Polly, Renee, and myself?
Willie, are you down here? Did you kill those people? Did you bury them down here in your basement?
I don't think you can do anything anymore. You got weak. You got weak and you're afraid of fire now.
Almost 100 years ago, you did this. And your family is still afraid of what you told them. How does that make you feel? So we're down here in the basement now. We're getting ready to start our first ever Shepherd's Tones experiment in the cursed cabin. We've done it at a few of the past locations, and we are going to be playing the Shepherd's Tones here in the basement to try and see if it can help draw any spirits towards us, or maybe it can intensify the energy and help pull out paranormal activity. But what Shepherd's Tones are, a descending tone and an ascending tone played simultaneously, and it actually gives the illusion that you have the tones increasing and decreasing in pitch. So it's kind of interesting, and we're hoping that we'll be able to capture some evidence with that. So let's do this. I am going to be playing it from my phone, but my phone is in airplane mode, so... Yeah, he has it recorded on there. Nobody yell at us here. Is there anybody here? So the coin's right here. Can you reach up and grab it? Put it in one of our pockets. Oh, shoot. There it was. I caught it, yeah? That did. Thank you. Ooh, it's going off again. Yeah. Something else.
Can you continue?
Yep, it's in there. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's weird. Shoot. Whoa. Setting off barometric pressure and temperature at the same time. Pretty crazy. Does it help you with the tones, or does it help you when they're not on? Oh, wow. So it does help you then.
Can you move to this other meter and make it go off?
If you are connected to the coin that our friend Renee found in her pocket, can you activate one of these devices?
Now that nobody's lived here in years, is the curse gone? Do you not bother people anymore just because nobody lives here? You have the place to yourself? Watch your head. Holly and Renee just got here. Can you say hello? I think tonight was a successful investigation, not only because we were able to capture some unexplained things, but also because we were able to face our fear. And we were able to come back into a location that literally almost killed one of us last time.
It's funny you say that too about fear, because us coming in for the second time, regardless of what happened, not necessarily regardless in a bad way, but regardless of what happened in the first investigation, that we were all here, that initial fear was not as great.
Right.
So by us coming back could have very well, in a way, lessened the effect on us that this place potentially would have had.
Yeah. But who knows, maybe the worst is yet to come. Maybe this investigation's less activity, less evidence, more aftermath.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
We won't say that.
we won't know it until we leave, so
Or if we ever come back.
we may have to come back someday.
Maybe.
Yeah.